Hi, my name is Alyssa and this is a prenatal yoga sequence. So let's come on to our mats, and we're going to come into child's pose first. So you can have your knees wide. You can bring a bolster or a pillow out in front if you like. We're going to slide ourselves back here until you can find a nice place to settle. You're welcome to bring the forehead down onto this pillow or your forehead down onto the floor. Beginning to take nice deep breaths in and out. With each inhale, expanding through the skin into the room, growing bigger, wider, taller. And with each exhale, grounding down into the floor and inward toward the bone of your body. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Just letting go of all that you do not need. Bringing your gaze with eyes open or closed to one single point just there in front of you, and allowing your thoughts to start to rest into this one single point that you see. Like a tunnel funneling further and deeper into this one single point that you see. Seeing if you can create some space in between the breaths, a little bit of a pause at the peak of your inhale, and a pause at the base of your exhale. On your next inhale, let's come up onto your hands and knees. Hands are just underneath the shoulders and the knees are just underneath the hips here. Tabletop position. Let's begin to wag the tail from side to side. Nice slow movements, waking up the sides of the body. You can look toward the hips as you go back and forth. We can start to make this movement a bit bigger. We're on the exhale, swinging all the way around through one side of the body. Inhale, swing forward through the other. Exhale, swing all the way around through the other side of the body. Inhale, swing forward through the other. Back and forth, creating circles, pausing in any way that you feel. If there's any tension in a certain spot that you'd like to breathe in and out of. And I call this one the Rice Krispie for all of the snaps, crackles, and pops that you might experience through the body as we wake it up. Making your way back to the center on all fours. Cats and cows. On your exhale, curling through the spine, look towards your belly button, rounding through the back. And on the inhale, curling through the spine, look toward the ceiling. Opening through the chest. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, opening through the chest. Back and forth. Feeling vertebrae by vertebrae moving through the spine. If you're feeling some tension through the lower back, just making sure that there isn't too much of a dip here, that you're focusing more on opening through the chest than creating more of a dip through the lower back that is already there with the weight of the belly through the front. We want to protect the lower back as much as we can. On your next inhale, from all fours, curl those toes under, and we're going to bring the hips up and back into downward dog. So as we send the hips as far up and back, you can have a bend into the knees, shoulders down and away from the ears, grounding through the hands and the feet evenly. Sending the chest toward the shins, And then from here, maybe you walk one heel down and the other heel down, pedaling the feet. In time, drawing both of the heels down toward the floor. Breathe nice and deep. Give the head a shake a little bit. Relax the neck. If you're starting to feel nauseous or lightheaded, you can look forward. And then on the inhale, let's begin to walk the feet toward the hands near the top of the mat. Lengthening the spine, looking forward. And on your exhale, folding all the way down. The feet are hip width apart or further, depending on the space of the belly. We want to be making sure that there's always lots of space for the belly out in front here. Clasping the elbows and dangling here as you relax the neck and the head. Feeling an evenness through the feet, so through the front of the feet and the sides of the feet, the back of the feet and the center, grounding down into the ground evenly here and breathing. On your next inhale, let's roll all the way up through the spine, reach the arms. And then on the exhale, just the hands come down. Let's bend into the knees, feeling lots of strength through the inner thighs as we reach the arms into the air, sitting into an imaginary chair here. If you like, you can rock back a little bit through the feet so that the toes pop up through the front. We're really feeling the feet squishing down into the mat here as we bring ourselves far back. Feel the heat building through the body. Breathe it through. Evenly distribute that effort. Sinking down into it. On the inhale, let's rise up. Let's clasp the hands at the top. And for this posture, bringing the big toes to touch here. On your exhale, nice and lightly over toward one side of the body. Nice long lines running from the outsides of the feet all the way through the outsides of the legs, torso, all the way through into your fingertips. Inhaling to the center and over to the other side. Nice and gentle. Keep grounding the hips down into the heels as you go. Inhale, returning to the center, and then exhaling, release the hands. Let's do some half sun salutations to warm up the body, bringing the feet hip width or further apart once more, a little bend in the knees and the elbows on the inhale. Let's take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, folding forward, clasping elbows and dangling. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, roll all the way up, reach the arms. And then exhaling, just the hands come down. And again, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. And folding all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up, reach the arms. And exhaling, hands come down. Last time. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, folding forward. Lengthening the spine, look forward. And folding all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching the arms. And then exhaling, just the hands come down. Good. Let's step wide on the mat now. Turning your right toes out to the side. Reaching to the side. Let's connect the right hand where it comes to. Left arm up into the air for triangle pose. So really noticing here where the hand likes to go. Perhaps even bringing a block underneath the hand if you like. or placing it anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. If this feels uncomfortable for you, you can bring the stance so that it is less wide as you come down, and that can help to alleviate perhaps some discomfort through the back of the knees or in the hips if it feels like it's a bit too much. Reaching through the fingertips as you ground down through the feet. Take a big breath in and exhale. Relaxing. Opening chest slightly toward the ceiling. On the inhale, rising back up. Let's turn the right toes to face in. The left toes to face out. Reaching to the side, and let's connect the hand where it comes to. Right arm into the air for triangle pose on this side. Once more, it could be very different on this side from the other as to where the hand wants to go along the leg. Each hip can be quite different. Breathing deep. Relaxing into your strength and finding strength and softening. Inhale, rising up. Let's turn those left toes to face in. The right toes turn out. This time, let's bend into the right knee. Bringing hands onto the hips. Feeling the pelvis moving down in between the strength of the legs nice and evenly here. And let's take a look at your right knee to make sure that the big toe is on the inside line of the knee. This is protecting the knee. Lift up onto that left quad and reach the arms, shoulders down and away from the ears. Feeling as if the room is holding the arms in place here. Let's breathe. Softening, grounding through the feet. You can look straight ahead, or if you like, over the right thumb, whichever is more comfortable for the neck. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, reach toward the right, bringing your arm wherever it comes to onto that right leg. And the left arm is going to come up and over for extended side angle. Opening chest slightly toward the ceiling. Create a line from the side of that left foot all the way through into the fingertips. So a nice long diagonal line as we apply just a little bit of pressure here of arm into the leg. Breathe deep. And again. On the inhale, let's rise back up. Turning right toes to face in, left toes to face out. Let's bend into this left knee, arms out to the sides. Warrior two on this side. Slowing down the moments as we slow down the breath. The slower we breathe, the more space we have in ourselves and in our surroundings. Keep breathing and softening. Let's take that inhale. And on the exhale, reach to the side, connecting the forearm where it comes to, and now this right arm comes up into the air, up and over, creating a nice long diagonal line from the side of the right foot all the way through into your fingertips. Open chest slightly toward the ceiling and breathe. Feeling the energy from the foot all the way through into the fingertips, lengthening. Inhale, let's rise up. Turning those left toes to face in. There's a couple options for the arms here. If you have a strap, or like me, a tie at home, then you can place this around the hands, just like this. Or if the hands clasp, then you do not need the strap. From this point, we're going to open through the chest, take the inhale, ground through your feet, and on the exhale, begin to fold forward, allowing the arms to come up and back behind the head. Pulling on the strap, or if you have your hands clasped, then squeezing fingertips together. If neither of these feel comfortable for you, please place the hands down onto a block or the floor. Breathing deep. If you have the hands clasped, let's bring them toward the sacrum and then all hands down onto the ground here. Pressing fingertips in, take that big breath in. On the exhales, folding yourself a little bit further down. And let's twist, grounding just the right hand onto the ground, left hand to the hip, rolling through the shoulder here to twist. Reaching this left arm into the air if that is accessible for you, or keeping it placed here on the hip. Breathing deep. Breathe deep into the center of the chest. And let's release the hand down, switching sides. Reaching right hand to the hip, rolling through the shoulder to twist, or maybe even reaching the right arm into the air to twist. Trying to have as flat of a back as we can through the back, as if you could have a glass on the very back. And then exhaling, let's bring that hand down. On the inhale, let's roll all the way up, reaching the arms. And then exhaling, hands come down, turning both sets of toes out to the sides, not too far, because there can be a tendency to fall backwards. And then bending into the knees, oh boy, reaching the arms into the air. This is called goddess pose. Evenly distributing the effort once more. So breathing from the feet all the way through into the top of the head and the fingertips, and back down again. Feeling as if your nose is working, your ears are working, your hair is working just as much as you feel through the quads right now. Keep grounding through the feet. So strong. Nice. On the inhale, let's rise up. Hands can come down. Let's walk the feet back together, stepping to the top of the mat for a breathing exercise here. So, little bend in the knees and the elbows. Ground through the feet. You can close the eyes, take a big breath in. We're going to sigh it out. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Sigh it out. So playing with your vocal cords, depending on where we put vibration into the body using sound, depends on where we can relax it. The lower the tone, the lower the vibration in the body. So when we have those low tones, we can start relaxing the pelvis and the pelvic floor, which is why often in laboring scenarios, we use some of these low tones to help during contractions. So same goes here. Let's take a big breath in. Good. Let's step onto the right foot now, and we're going to bring that left foot onto the calf, or please above the knee, onto the thigh, nothing on the knee. If you like, you could come to a wall for this part. It is a lot easier for sure to balance knowing you have that wall there, that support system. Other points for balancing, gaze to one single point just in front of you. This is a meditative technique that we can bring here into our yoga practice. Breathe into that one single point that you see. Soften the body. Center your mind into this one single point that you see. Find a smile on the face. It's just yoga. It's okay. You can bring the hands into a prayer position at the heart, or you can bring the arms up if you want to really challenge yourself. Look up today, or even close the eyes. Nice deep breath. And then let's release this side. Switching sides. Grounding onto that left foot. Let's bring the right foot onto the calf, or please above the knee, nothing on the knee. Pressing the foot in. Find that gaze. Find the smile on your face. The breath in and out. And bring your hands where you'd like to bring them. Enjoying the silence, the space with yourself and with your babe. Excellent. Let's place that foot down. One more. This one gets me every time. Let's reach the arms into the air. And then we're going to come up onto the tippy toes. Keep reaching, 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 light as a feather. And then if you like, you can begin to bend into the knees, bringing hands to the height of the shoulders here. Breathe deep. Keeping up on those toes as much as you can. Keep those heels up. The heat is building. Accepting that. And then inhale, reach, 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 like at the top of the swing set. And then exhaling, hands and the feet come down. Excellent. Let's come into a reset button. That could be child's pose, downward dog, more cats and cows, more wagging of your tail. Whatever you feel your body needs at this point, we're transitioning to the floor. So here is where I like to use 2 blocks. If you do not have blocks at home, you could use books or maybe some Tupperware in the kitchen, something that can make it so that your arms are a little bit higher up off the ground. So let's bring the blocks out in front underneath the hands as we're on all fours. I'm going to take my right foot and bring it to the outside of my block here. Even if the belly is not in that 2nd and 3rd trimester state where it's kind of getting in the way of the leg, it's good practice now to begin bringing that foot to the outside of your block so that as you're doing this movement continuously throughout the pregnancy, things are opening up in this way. So your foot is to the outside of the block. I have my back knee down on the ground and I have the toes curled under through the back foot. You can also have the top of the foot on the ground if that feels more comfortable for you. We're opening through the chest as we have our hands on the blocks, breathing deep into a low lunge. If you need, please place a blanket underneath the knee. I know this can be uncomfortable for the knee. There is the option here to stay, or if you like, you can begin to straighten into this front leg and maybe even lifting the toes. Perhaps the blocks need to come a little further back here so that you get a stretch through the back of the leg, through the hamstring. You could inhale forward and exhale back, or remain for a few breaths in one of these poses and a few breaths in the other. Using the repetition, so making sure that wherever you go to feels comfortable. We're wanting to keep the body at that sort of 70% place here. Relaxin has come into the body, making things more relaxed in some areas and maybe tighter in some other areas than you are used to, and perhaps the body feels a bit different than you remember. And so we're always just being careful with the body here throughout the pregnancy. Good. Let's come out of this one. So take that knee back. And coming off the blocks just for a second to give your arms a break, maybe coming back down into that child's pose, knees are wide. Big breath in. Let's side out again. And let's switch the sides. So now it is going to be the left foot that comes to the outside of the block. You can choose if you want to have the back toes curled under or top of the foot on the ground, whichever is more comfortable for you. Inhaling forward, open through the chest as you ground your hands on the blocks. And then on the exhale, beginning to straighten the leg, maybe lifting those toes, maybe folding forward. Where you start to feel it, begin to breathe there and use the repetition to move a bit further. Getting lost in the rhythm of the breath, your own personal music. Come on out. And let's come through into one more reset button for yourself, whatever you'd like for that to be. Just taking a moment to check in with yourself. What do you feel like on the inside without any of the hats, the expectations of who we are? What do you feel like in your simplest of form? Connecting with that, how nice it is to be able to connect with ourselves and with our surrounding space. Okay, we're going to come into some hip opening poses here. There's a couple of different options that I'm going to give. The first one is called pigeon pose, and I definitely like to have some blocks handy just in case you need. So, from all fours, it is the right knee sliding towards your wrist, hinging the foot a little bit inward. The more in line you make the foot with the knee, the deeper the pose will feel. And then from here, sliding back through this left leg until you stop. If the hip is high off the ground, this is where you can place a block underneath the hip. Okay? Just like this. If the belly is getting in the way at this point, you could also place the block underneath the pubic bone. And with the block underneath the pubic bone and a bolster out in front, maybe even a block on top of that, we can bring the floor to you. Okay? So finding a way to bring the floor to you in a nice comfortable way so that you can fold forward. Noticing where you have some tension through the hips and telling yourself to relax that area. Noticing what happens when we use our words to ourselves. Relax. Release. It's okay. The power that these words hold within our body. On the inhale, let's come on up. Sliding forward, take that knee back nice and gently. And in the in-between, let's do some wagging of the tail once more from side to side. And maybe some circles, so swinging all the way around through one side, all the way forward through the other, and back the other way. Until you're ready to slide the left knee through. Hinging the foot a little bit inward and then slide back through your right leg. Once more, take that block and place it underneath the pubic bone or the hip, whichever is more comfortable for you, perhaps bringing that bolster out in front before you fold forward. Breathing deep. coming through onto your seat in any way that is comfortable for you to get there. If your hamstrings, the backs of your legs, are very tight and sitting like this is quite uncomfortable, please sit up onto something like a bolster or a block or a pillow. That can do wonders for these poses that are coming up here. So let's place the legs out in front and then draw that right foot in towards your left leg. With your strap or your tie, placing it along that left foot, and then beginning to lengthen as you fold forward. Nice deep breaths. If the belly is getting in the way, then you can always place the foot a little bit more out to the side. I recognize it can be a bit frustrating if you're used to doing this pose without the belly in the way. That first forward fold after birth is always a treat. On the inhale, rising up. And then let's take that foot out in front, the right foot. Bum, 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 through the legs. Left foot comes in toward the right leg. Placing that strap along the foot. Pull, lengthen, take the inhale, and then beginning to fold forward here. So once more, just going to a nice, soft and gentle place, and use the breath to allow yourself to fold even further if you'd like. Inhale, let's rise up. Let's bring these legs wide here for a wide-legged forward fold, or if you would like, then just bring the legs as far apart as is comfortable for you for the belly to pass through. So it's up to you if you want that to be wide-legged or just as wide for the belly to pass through. You're also welcome to, if you have a bolster or something that is long like this, bring the floor to you, because perhaps your hinging point is here. And then if you take your bolster, you can place it along the head, and voila, the floor has come to you. And you can rest and have a restorative pose within this one. Breathing deep. The pose with the legs less wide could look something like this, with the strap along the feet, folding forward. If your hands meet the feet, then you do not need the strap. Inhale, let's rise up. And let's bring both feet in toward the groin here, knees out to the sides. This is also a hip opener as well as opening through the pelvis. If you feel like you need some support underneath the knees, you can place some blocks. You're also welcome to bring the feet further out in front so you have a diamond shape here. This is extended Baddha Konasana, if that is more comfortable for you. So opening the feet up to the sides, pushing the feet away here like a book, opening them up like a book and then pushing them away a little bit, lengthening through the spine here, and then on the exhale, folding forward. It is possible that you may want to have your bolster still out in front here if your hinging point is yet again to a place where you'd like the floor to come to you. Breathe deep into the belly, creating some extra space here. Inhale, come on up. Let's bring the knees up. take the bolsters to the side. And now we're coming into our Shavasana poses. There's a few different options. So laying on the back isn't so much of an option. So laying on the side of the body can be something, bringing a pillow or bolster in between the legs, and maybe a pillow underneath the head as well here, laying on the side of the body. You're also welcome to do something called heart bed, where you place a block with your bolster over top. You know I'm going to lay down, hey? You're excited. Then from here, you take your lower spine right up against the bolster. Oh yeah! And lay back. This opens through the heart and the shoulders. You can also, if you like, open the knees out to the sides with the feet touching. You could have the knees up or the legs straight. If you just have a pillow at home, you could stack the pillows in such a way, maybe a couple pillows, so that they're propping through that center of the chest. That's the area that you're wanting to push up primarily, so that you have a little bit of space to breathe here. One more possible option for your Shavasana poses is to take that pillow or your bolster. Huxley, please. Please. Huxley, please. Come. Come. Good boy. So, with either a bolster or a pillow, you're going to come onto the back just for a moment. I recognize staying here can be uncomfortable. Lifting the hips up just slightly enough so that you can take this bolster or pillow underneath the curvature of the spine here, and then lifting the legs into the air. This posture is great for any of those circulation situations. If you have swelling of the hands and the feet, or perhaps varicose veins or anything like that, this can be very relieving. If you have a wall that you can bring your legs up against, then you're really in that resting Shavasana pose. So just pretend that where my heels are, there's a wall right up against there, and you just place them there. When you want to come down, then you can bring the feet down, lift yourself up off the bolster, and roll onto one side of the body. So choosing your Shavasana pose that works for you. And while you are in Shavasana, I will sing you a song. So please lay back however you'd like to be. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. And again, big breath in. And out. Just like the sun, oh, oh, above, I feel it here. Just at the top. Fading into fading into white, fading into this white light. Oh, fading into white light. Bringing deep breaths in and out of the body. Moving in any way that's comforting. And then when you're ready, making your way to your seat. You can bring a pillow underneath your seat. And let's sit for a moment with the eyes closed. You can bring your hands onto the belly if you like, or keeping them on the knees, whichever is more comfortable for you. Taking a moment for you and your little one, whatever that means to you. If you are comfortable doing so, bringing hands to the center of the heart in the prayer position. Feeling the sense of gratitude for being alive and for carrying life. Setting an intention for yourself, some kind of inward focus, purpose, and direction. Who are you really? And why are you here in your life? I'm going to sing one Om to close. You're welcome to sing with me if you like, breathing in. Thank you, everyone. Excellent job. I'm going to go and take my dog for a walk. It seems to be time. Namaste to you all. I'll be making more videos soon, so we'll see you soon. Namaste. Bye.